Hello folks, well, this is Miguel from the Embargo Man channel, and today we're going to show you old school tech. So, what is old school tech? Alright, before TVs, before video games, before the iPhone, and before, telephones, I think were invented, but we're going to present to you a camera even before the even before the this is one that I'm talking about, one that I'm before the GoPro, right? Even before the GoPro, and before all of this, whatever you know, there was film cameras. The first pocket camera was the Kodak Model B, and here we go. Ta-da! This is the first pocket camera. This is the Kodak Model B. It is made in the USA, and this is like one of the first pocket cameras, and Kodak was the only company, the only sole company back in the day that made film and made cameras. They made it all. So what it is that this type of camera came out in 1915. So what it is this. It is the Model B. It uses film number 1127, or film number A127. A127 film is used a roll of film. It wasn't black and white though. It just hides like this, and when it folds, you push right here, and ta-da! You could put this in your pocket, and you're ready to go. Back in the day, these cameras were practical. This is the first portable camera, the first pocket camera, way before the GoPro, way before all that, even though you could put those in your pocket. So this is it. This was in the market for a very long time. From the, I don't know, like in the 1920s, people carrying this, they used to, oh yeah, this is a camera. Whoop, want to see my camera? That was back in the day when the Model T was out on the line and everything else. Yeah, like they took out this camera, right? They go like, this is my camera, and they go like, whoop, whoop. Ta-da! Out they go, and they're ready to go and take some pictures. Take some pictures of vacations. Take a picture of wherever places they have been to. There have been. This baby has been there all over the world, even in the land where Fujifilm was originated in. And everybody else, 100% of the market back in the day used Kodak. That's it. Probably Polaroid. 99% of the market used Kodak products. So what it is with this film, with this camera, it uses film, is the Model B, the best pocket Model B. This is the Model B camera. So back then, people take these to different events and different vacations time, because back in the day, the camera used to be one of the big bulky equipments that you go there and say cheese and whatever, and nobody wants to carry those big bulky cameras. And like there wasn't no video camera, there were film. There were like lack of film. There was no YouTube. There was lack of video. The only thing you could do on video is a film. Like that, and silent film. That was back in the day, back in the 20s. About this camera. This camera is so unique. It is I don't know how much it would cost back then. I think it was dirt cheap back in the day, right? So what it is that you buy a roll of film, and then you could take it. You know, the thing they don't, you can't make a video. To make a video with a camera, they have big bulky cameras, and it was film. There was no TV. It was film, and it was silent film, right? You know, like let's say, let's go, let's go out. We're gonna rob, we're gonna rob a bank. And, you know, silent films, right? Back in the day, right? So what it is this, what it is with this camera. When people see it and they have it right there, they just put it in there. You know, people have their hats. You push it right there. Right, that like this. You fold it right there. You press it right here. Boom, and then you got it. It's ready to go. You put it in the pocket. Yeah, probably with hats back in the day. You put it in the pocket, and then you go in there and sneak out. Yeah, like back in the 1920s, back in 1915, around there when it first came out, it says, "Oh yeah, I got a first pocket camera." You know what? Yes, I got a camera. You know, I have the big. I don't have to. I have to go getting those big bulky things right there. You know, something like that when they come up and they go in this right there, and whoop, I got this camera in my pocket. Yeah, I'm gonna take some pictures. Let's go ahead, and they just go like this. They open like this, and then right there the camera comes like this, ready to go like this. You take some pictures. Oh yeah, you take some pictures, and you're good to go, right? I mean, I think this is the one that you press the button like this, right, or something, or you look through the hole right there, or whatever, you know, something like that, right? So back in the day, that was like the coolest thing back then. Like anybody like in 1910s or 1920s, they used this camera, and they even have this camera. I bet your great grandparents have one of these, right? So whatever it is with this Model B camera, it's out there. Some people have them, and then some people collect these cameras, and you can see it in antique shops. And what is amazing about this camera, this is like the first pocket camera, because nowadays you have your iPhone, your Android camera, and those things nowadays are like the modern day version of these babies. All the only difference is that you can make phone calls, you can make videos, and you can do whatever sorts of things. And then you have and plus you have the what you call it, like the GoPros and all those company making fin cameras and make it easier for your pocket. Even Sony makes fin cameras, right? So Kodak was the first one to make these cameras. Like back in 1915, the only company when these released, it was the only company that makes film and cameras back in the day. Like I don't know when Polaroid came out, but that was the only company. Like 99% or I mean 100% of the market. Kodak has ruled the market back in the days when these babies came out. So if you've seen one of these, it is old school technology. This is way before that. And people took a picture. Oh my God! I want to take a picture of Babe Ruth winning the World Series. They used this type of camera. This type of camera is when people saying, "Oh yeah, I wanna take a picture next to Babe Ruth." They use this camera. Guess what? They use a Model B camera. You know, instead of calling some guy with a bulky camera right there and says, plenty of pictures like that, like the first World Series champs. that the New York Yankees won, or when Babe Ruth was traded, or when Boston Red Sox, when they first won, and whatever, they use this type of cameras, and people want to see what the All Stars and these fans were carrying these cameras in their pockets, and yeah, voila, they did it. And these cameras went all over the world. They sold it. I mean, they were exported, millions of them. This is what my dad, a friend of my dad, a guy who was from France, gave this to my dad, and then look here, this is the camera you're gonna have for collection. Put it in yeah, and it shows off with the living room. I mean, I am in Colombia right now. That this is like the first pocket camera. With these pocket cameras, they have been all over the world. You know, even in countries where where Fujifilm is originated, they use these cameras. I mean, they're made in America. Made in the USA. You know, and whatever this in good condition, the worth price of these cameras, this is a relic. This is like a vintage camera from the 1915s, like 1910s, early 1920s, or something like that. That these cameras came out, and if you seem to have something with Model B cameras, please show your video. Please do make a comment right there. You could do it. Subscribe to the Embargo Man channel. And I think, what is your thing you have from old tech from back in the day? I like to hear from you. What camera? Because this is so old that I wasn't even born yet when these cameras came out. This is the first camera, came out in 1915 when they first released these things. This is the Kodak Model B camera. You know, people go and take it in put it in their pocket and stuff. You know, like they come and I don't remember, like back in the days, like, you know, wearing some hat and overalls and something like this back in the day. That one of these cameras also have been sunk in the water. Yes, one of these cameras are sunk in the water when the Titanic has sunk, right? I mean, I think it will be interesting to find one of these cameras that, underwater, but I don't know when is the Titanic. Oh yeah, or I don't know, but I mean, whatever it is, you know, these cameras sold all over the world, and if I could find my phone right now, when the Titanic came out, well, Titanic the boat, right? So I'm not using my Sony phone, but hey, you know, people using these are the modern day version of these. It is, if I look through it when it came out, because I might be wrong. Titanic the boat. Alright, it's in 1912. Sorry about that, 1912. This thing came in 1915. You can't find one of these on the water, but in a way, this came 3 years after the Titanic had sunk, right? So what it is that they're not gonna find any cameras on one of these cameras on the water, but you know, but other than that, other events coming by, like, you know, taking a picture with Babe Ruth in the first World Series when he won it with the Yankees and all that stuff. It was taken with this camera. I know it was taken with one of these cameras. So what it is with this camera is a very vintage camera, and I recommend that you get one of these cameras. These cameras would be offer up in value, and they came out. They are made in the USA, and they were exported all over the world. It was the first camera in this is the first pocket camera in the world. So this came 3 years after the Titanic had sunk, and this came also, even with the survivors, people who survived that wreck, is taken with this camera. So I might say, write me a comment about this camera. What do you think about this camera, and what other old school technologies you have? Probably stuff from the 1980s. That would be awesome that somebody make a response with stuff from the 1980s or something like that. Your first NES or whatever you're gonna come up with. Like reviewing old school tech is something like, I'm saying old products, from whichever era, but this is from the 1910s. Sorry about that, I missed information. The Titanic was in 1912. This came out 3 years after that. So if you have something interesting about the first pocket camera, that came out in 1915, write me a comment. Or any other product from back in the day. Could be the first digital camera, could be the first changing lens camera, DSLR camera, or whatever you come up with your mind. First computer, first personal computer, first of everything, right? So write me a comment, do a video response, or anything, because these cameras are found everywhere, and then if you have one of these cameras, no matter where you are, I bet the only sole company in the world that makes everything back in the day, just like Microsoft and with the software and stuff, was Kodak. So Kodak made probably like 04 and ACFA, but like 90 something% of the time was Kodak. Kodak has dominated the market for years, and then even though it was the only thing you could buy in town, and it's Kodak, right? So write me a comment, and please support my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button if you want advice of new videos coming up here in the Embargo Man channel. So see you in the next vid, and goodbye folks, and stay safe, people. I hope anybody could come up with a video of old school products. This is just an old school tech review. Kodak Model B 1915 released year.